there, my crypto bit brothers and sisters. This here is Rod, and there's Papa Ron over yonder. And I mean, when I say over yonder, folks, I mean over yonder. We're about an hour apart, you know.
Yeah. Makes a difference.
It does. Yeah, I just thought we'd just BS today a little bit. How about it, Ron? I think we ought to talk about something, but, you know, we're always talking about crypto, bit currency, one way or another, you know.
Yeah, we actually came across an article on Ripple. So we thought, you know, we haven't done any videos on Ripple in a while, so why don't we dissect it?
Okay, let's do that.
What comes to my mind is actually 3 different topics within the Ripple conversation. One is, where are they going? You know, where's it at? Maybe a little background on Ripple. 2 is you have the die-hard decentralized coins, and Ripple is the opposite of that to a point.
Yeah.
And they hate anything to do with Ripple and XRP and anything they're trying to accomplish. And then the third thing, Rod, is maybe after we analyze this, let's see if they're worth investing in.
Okay.
So
you know,
I know we don't have any structure planned on this. We have pulled up a couple articles as the reason we're talking on Ripple, and we want to share those. But other than that, we have no script or anything. We're just going to kind of delve into it.
Well, we always do, don't we? Kind of delve into even with the script. We always get off the spot.
All right, Rod, I'll shut up for the next half hour and let you get after it.
All right, let's talk about this, man. You know, we got Bitcoin #1 here, you see. And,
we getting on the market cap? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry, on the market cap. Let's get on that market cap. And what I want to talk about is this Bitcoin, Ethereum, and it used to be LiteCoin, but now it's Ripple's in there. Freak. But you know the reason why they're in there, look at their market cap. It's 7 trillion market cap. Well, that's pretty freaking big. And LiteCoin's only 2 trillion. Of course, the reason why they're so big, though, if you look at the current circulating currency, it's way up there, higher than anybody else, I think.
Hey, let's talk about that for a second. You know, Ripple
talk about it.
As we go along, we want to give you a little basic understanding of Ripple. We've got other videos that dissect what Ripple is. You can go to our previous ones. But Ripple came out with a 100 billion, is that billion?
Yeah.
Coins. But they've put 60% of them in cold storage. And they're going to break those out, I think on a monthly, 1 billion coins a month as they're needed. So right now there's only 38 billion in circulation, but like Rod says, if you take that 38 billion coins times the last price of what one was sold at, and that takes you to the market cap.
Yeah.
So that's why they're up there. They have so many dang coins. It's not necessarily the price. They're only sitting at 19 cents.
Well, 19 cents may not be something worth getting into then. Who knows? And they've been up there. They've been in the top, at least the top 10 for a long time now.
Yeah, they've been in that top 3 for a while too, 3 or 4.
Yes.
What I find interesting about this is NEM. We like NEM too, and NEM isn't that far behind them at 16.5 cents.
No. Now you said their platforms are pretty close.
Well, NEM is also a currency working with the banking industry, similar to Ripple. They're based out of, I think, Japan, and they're doing a lot of their focus in Japan. Their platform isn't exactly the same. I mean, Ripple's pretty much cross-border transactions. It means sending money back and forth country to country. And so Ripple's not an everyday currency, the XRP coin. We'll get into that in a minute. But, so just the only similarity is working with the banks, I think. NEM wants to be a currency.
Oh, okay. All right.
And here's something you just pointed out a minute ago before we got on was Ant Shares did make the transformation there. Whoops, I already clicked off of that. They are now logged in as Neo. So the rebranding has taken place today, which on the 24th they said it would.
Yeah, it did.
And they're up to 834. Man, we should have bought some of that at $5, Rod. Do I got to think of everything?
I know you do.
No, I don't.
probably the only one thing I don't like about Neo or Antcoin is you gotta just be on their freaking website. I don't know. I have a hard time with that. It's just me.
We'll
I don't know
figure
why.
that out. So let's get back into Ripple. We got a company that's based out of San Francisco. I think they have over 100 employees. Coinbase is also based out of San Francisco, and back in May and June, there was some rumors about Coinbase taking Ripple on as one of their coins for their exchange, which would be a huge boost. That has never transpired, so last couple days I did kind of go in and look that up, and there is still a group of hardcore Ripple people, XRP, that are still trying to push, or at least suggest to Coinbase to come on, let's take XRP on and be a good coin to have with Coinbase. So that is still, I don't want to say it's in the works, it's people are still trying to push that along.
Yeah.
Maybe nobody in Ripple is, but anyway, they are. It's like we talked about Ripple. Their focus is to be a cross-border for banks to use. They're partially centralized in the fact that they are using regular banks, but their blockchain is decentralized. And I know a lot of people make a ruckus about that. And
I never have.
No, we've been kind of neutral on it. I mean, I see the opposition and their points, but we're in this stuff to make money. And I don't think our little position is going to...
You know, the problem is with me, I still use a bank. If I was totally out of banks, I probably wouldn't want to get into Ripple either.
Well, that's a valid point. Let's get into that just a second.
Okay.
You know, we talked about, and in one of our videos we called it the moral issue of Ripple, you know, because of this centralized, decentralized, and a lot of the die-hard decentralized people that are into cryptocurrency believe that if we support Ripple, we're actually supporting the banks, and we're trying to get decentralized off the banking system. And one of the points let me inject something here. You probably one of the points you're going to make anyway is that the problem is that the majority of other coins are decentralized, but then the banks see that, hey, we can't let decentralization ruin us, so we need to get in there and get hooked up with it somehow so we can survive. Well, that's just it. If you just think these banks are going to roll over and play dead, they're not. And you can bet they're working on things similar to Ripple. I mean, what Ripple claims that out of the top 50 banks, the big ones, the big boys, 15 of them have already signed up with Ripple.
Yeah.
And you go into, what country was it? Was it Japan that... I mean, like the majority of the banks, it must not be Japan because NEM's got a pretty good foothold down there too.
Yeah.
But one of the countries, they've got a huge following with Ripple. I mean, they've got, I think they're into 47 different countries now.
Wow.
As far as with the banks. But going on to what you were just saying, Rod, these banks just aren't going to go away. They're going to get into this game somehow. And do
you think that maybe they're scared and they figure that instead of them trying to convert us back to the banking system, maybe we're going to convert the banks into the decentralized system. You know that?
Decentralized to a point, but
I mean, you know, it could be.
Look at the numbers though. 1, maybe 2% of the population of the world are into crypto.
Well,
so are they scared of crypto at this point? No, I don't think so at all.
No, I don't either. You make a valid point.
And I think...
Tell me more, Ron. Tell me more.
Well, think about our everyday lives. I mean, if we're talking about we don't want to participate with Ripple because we don't want to give them an edge into the decentralized world of crypto, I mean, we deal with the banks every day. We use fiat currencies. We use Visa cards, debit cards. We tip our waitresses with fiat currency. We pay all our bills with it. We borrow money for our homes and our cars and everything else. So we're as deep as SHI, you know what, into fiat and the banking system anyway.
Yeah, we really are.
Yeah, we are.
Not unless you're straight cash, but even then, you can't buy anything straight cash anymore. You know,
right.
You know, at Sam's Club. Look, for instance, Sam's Club. You go over and buy gasoline at Sam's Club. Did you know they don't even have a cash register out at their gas station, so you can pay cash for gas? They won't take it. They only
strictly
take
card,
credit cards. That's it.
Yeah. Well,
everybody's going cashless.
Yeah. So back on this bit of not participating in Ripple because we don't want to support the centralized banking system. I see that, but then are you working on getting rid of all the other fiat you use every single day? You'd make your mortgage payments in fiat, you buy your food, I mean everything. So yep. To me it's not a huge issue. So anyway, we kind of, I don't know if I'm beating a dead horse here or not, but
yeah, probably beating a dead horse. That's okay.
No, I agree that I like the decentralized thing. Because
me too.
I like cutting the middleman out, which is the bank. I like nobody having a transparent view of my transactions, which I like. I can send funds cheaper, and we're not even to that point yet. I mean, think about it. When you go to the grocery store and use your fiat compared to Bitcoin or LiteCoin, that loaf of bread, you know, is about going to be the same price today as it will be 2 weeks from now. But using crypto, with the volatility it has, there's no stability in pricing. At this point, that's kind of maybe a turnoff. You know, you got to have some kind of stability in your currency that you're using, at least in my thinking.
Well, we're right at the infancy of it anyway. You know, really, we are at the infancy of this stuff. And once it does become more stable, I think it'll become better and more popular.
No, you're right. And how long off that is, we don't know. But you're right. I think it'll get there, but it's just not there yet. So Ripple, back to the company, one thing they really did this year is they came out with that interledger. And we did a video on that, Rod, where they can send any currency, any fiat, any crypto, and they can send it from, let's say, Utah, God's country.
Yeah.
So if we put in...
I'll argue that point.
Yeah, I knew you'd back me up on that, Rod. Hey, and at the start of this show, I think we ought to put one of them little footages we have up in the mountains. That is cool. We'll throw one of them in there.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good idea.
So anyway, where was I headed? Oh, you can put fiat currency in Utah, and it'll come out in Japan in either yen or whatever crypto you want. And so this interledger kind of sits on top of all these blockchains. And Ripple did an experiment in Berlin, Germany, a month or 2 months ago, where they sent currency across 7 blockchains and came out the currency they want successfully several times. So this interledger kind of brings it all together. Think about that. Instead of having a... Go ahead, Rod.
No, I was going to say that worked really well.
Yeah, instead of having 6 wallets on your computer and all these different coins that do everything else, Ripple is doing kind of cool. This interledger thing kind of brings it all to one. And so as their cross-border thing they're working on, now here's the kicker too on this XRP coin. They're signing these banks up to use this interledger system and their blockchain to cross-border funds. It's a lot faster than what the banks use. It's a lot cheaper than wiring funds. So the banks are excited about it. Yeah. And that blockchain is designed for them. But Ripple is saying, we don't know the mechanism that's going to be used yet, or the actual token or coin. Ripple saying we have XRP here that would work for all these transactions, but they haven't said that is the coin they're absolutely going to use. they're providing XRP for the banks, and that's what they're doing all their sampling on and stuff, but it's really not. It's really
So
not.
they're using that ledger as their key then for doing the transferring back and forth, not so much the Ripple coin.
Right.
Okay.
So it's not signed in gold. What's that saying? It's not printed in concrete. It's not anyway. They're saying XRP is available for this, and Ripple designed it to use on this inner ledger and the blockchain and all, but yet it's not in solid gold that that's the coin or token they're going to use for this.
Yeah, it's not written in blood.
There you go. That's right. So, but let's go over to these headlines really quick.
Okay,
Rod,
let's do that.
This is what kind of got us on this Ripple. I mean, check this out by CNBC. You saw this, didn't you, Rod?
I did. I saw that. I was amazed. It's not Bitcoin or Ethereum. It's digital currency rose 3,977 cents the first half of 2017, and it's XRP token.
It's Ripple's XRP token.
Yeah.
Yep. Went up almost 4,000% in the first half of 17.
Man, it's unbelievable.
And not that it's going to do that again, we realize that,
No.
but this is the article that got us thinking about, man, let's take a look at Ripple here.
Again.
Okay, now in our last video we talked about this Federal Reserve task force.
Yeah.
To try to get on the banks into simplifying their cross-border transactions and speed them up. And anyway, Ripple was on the task force. And in this article, I think they do a pretty good shout out to Ripple that, hey, they are the mechanism that's going to improve this.
Yep.
And then, folks, we're going to put this down in the description box also. You can actually sign up for XRP's monthly newsletter. If you're a XRP holder or like Ripple, you can get what's going on latest with them. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, if you hadn't already got it, that'd be nice to get.
Yeah. So, XRP, the question is, the last question to answer is it worth investing in? And Rod and I, we haven't talked about this, I don't think, prior to this show.
No.
We held quite a bit of Ripple. We cashed
we did.
most, if not all of it, out when there was a pretty, we bought in when it was like 4 cents, 4.5 cents, and we cashed it out at 30. And with the amount of tokens we had, we did pretty good at that.
We
and
did.
right now, what was it on, Rod? Let's go back to this
19
real quick.
cents. 19 cents.
19 cents. I mean, folks, that's 5 for a buck.
That's pretty good. 5 tokens for a buck.
And you can see they've definitely been on kind of a downhill thing too, like everything else this last couple of weeks or so. But they've maintained pretty good.
I think that after this what's that thing called, 148, BIP 148 gets over in August, after that, I think everything's going to start going back up. Because once Bitcoin got going down, everything else went down.
Seemed like it.
And since it seems like Bitcoin's going up, everything else is going up a little bit. You know, it seems like everything hinged on Bitcoin.
It is. That is the big daddy. That's the granddaddy of them. But folks, let's look at this price: 19 cents, 5 for a buck. Now, Rod and I, we can only do what we can do, and we get that. If you only got 50 bucks to throw into something, we understand that. But if you want to make some serious money at this stuff, it takes a little bit of investment. So if you get 5 for a buck, and you put a 0 on that, you're going to get 50 for 10 bucks. You're going to get 500 for $100. You're going to get 5,000 for $1,000.
Yep.
That's the kind of numbers you maybe ought to set goals at, because if you got 5,000 XRPs, and then if they go up to a quarter a piece, or not a quarter, but 50 cents or to a buck, then you're making $2,500, or you're making $5,000. That's not the profit. You got to minus what you put into it. But you know, we try to think in a little bit bigger numbers. Not that we have a bunch of cash, we don't, but
no, but you know, we plug away. You know, I buy a little bit of Bitcoin every time I get paid. You know, it's twice a month. I put in a couple of $100, you know. And if you can only put in $50, put in $50.
Right.
You know what I look at this for? I look at this as like a savings account with a lot better interest paying. Even though you buy like LiteCoin, you're paying $45, and a month or two it may be 48, 49. Well, hell, that's still better than you can put your money in a freaking bank. You know that?
No, for sure, yeah.
So I just kind of look at it as a savings account. You put it in there and let it sit. Now, I'm not trying to trade out and make a killing on it. Of course, I don't make enough.
No, but like you said,
I don't have enough points to make a killing on it.
You got more than we allude to. But go back to my reference. You know, if you want to make, you know, some money to make a difference in your life, you know, you got to set a goal. I need 1,000 of these tokens, or I need 2,000. And like Rod said, you got to continually buy those to get, so when it pays off, you're actually making 2, 5, 10 grand that'll do you something in your life, instead of, well, wow, I made. But you only do what you can do. I get it. So Rod, back to the question.
Okay.
Back to the question.
Okay.
Is Ripple worth investing in?
I think so. I mean, you can look at the numbers here, and I like the volume in the 24-hour period. It's $62 million of volume. Anytime you start getting in high volume, I don't care how the price sells for, that's something you need to look at to make sure that I think it's worth investing in. And look at the track record. I mean, it's a little low, but it hadn't gone down to the very bottom now. It hadn't bottomed out. It looks like it's going up a little bit. So, yeah, I think it's worth investing in.
You know, I do too. I like their platform. I like what they've done with this interledger. Ripple seems to be very aggressive in what they're trying to accomplish. They're not just sitting by the sidelines trying to write code for a new platform. They're out getting banks signed up. They're working on this interledger. And they want to convert them all to use the XRP, which will eventually benefit those that hold it. I could see in the next, I don't know how long, 6 months, a year.
But it's going to be a long time hold. You know,
yeah, they're not going to roll this out to all the banks in 6 months.
No. Oh, no.
Sure not. But they're progressing to the point where it adds value to what they're doing, and where the coins that are in circulation are what's out there now. The rest of them are on cold ice kind of until they need them. Yeah. But yeah, I think it's worth getting into.
And not only that, it's raised from way down on the bottom of the currency thing all the way up to number 3. I mean, come on. You can't get up to number 3 and not do something, right?
Well, and people are aware of it because it's up there. People know Ripple.
Yep, they do.
Folks, I hope we gave you some beneficial information on this. We've done a lot of videos on Ripple. Got some good information on our previous ones, but we kind of wanted to step up and talk about this little again. So thanks for listening.
And we really appreciate it. Hey, be sure to subscribe and pound those thumb up buttons. Man, we really appreciate that. And ring that bell, too, if you want to hear us now when we come on. That would be a good thing, too, wouldn't it, Ron?
Yeah, the bell kind of, if you hit the bell on our station, you get notifications every time we have a video out. If we're live, it'll notify you. So, yeah, the bell's important.
You know, that is if you like us. If not, well, don't do it.
Simple as that.
But we want to see you next time. God bless.